Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I need your help. Well, I need lots of help right now in pretty much multiple areas of my life, but I need your help with this. So I'm going to be a godmother. I mean, I technically am, but the baby's not born yet. My dear friend, my soul sister, Isabel, she asked me, and her fiance asked me to be the godmother to her first child, which is such an honor. And depending on, where you're from culturally, where you live in the world, your religious beliefs, I mean, being a godmother is a big deal. I was raised where it was a big deal, but there's a whole another story that goes with that in my wild childhood. But she's from Belgium, and it is seriously the biggest honor to choose who's going to be a godparent. And I take it so seriously, and I'm very honored and flattered. And I mean, hello, who wouldn't want your kid to have a rich godmother? That kid's going to hit me up. I'm the rich auntie, basically. But question is, I'm also curious too, in your country or in your family where you're from, do you guys send out when you send out a birth announcement, do you also acknowledge who the godparents are in the announcement? Because in her country and in how, she was raised, when you send out an announcement and you list who the godparents are, it's that big of a deal. I'm just curious. I've never seen that done before. I find it fascinating. I think it's very cool. And I mean, if I ever had kids of my own, which is very unlikely, I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. But she asked me recently, do I want to be referred to as like godmother, or do I want to be, I think it was Gigi, or is it Gigi or Gam Gam? We were coming up with all sorts of things because I don't think godmother is really easy for a kid to say. What would you want to be called? I think that we can come up with lots of different things for the kid to call me. But I thought it was interesting. Do you see being a godparent, is that a big deal? Do you have a godparent for your kids? And those of you who, don't have kids, or maybe you can't have them, or it's not something that is in your heart to do, that doesn't mean you can't have that parental type role by being here to be of service as being a godparent, or just being a really trusted friend to your friends' kids. Like my best friend's kids are amazing, and those kids can come to me for anything till the day I die. Like that, period, end of story, right? So you can get that fulfillment in that way. I don't know why I felt called going down this path today when this is not the topic. So don't worry, we're going to get into it. Those of you who are new to the show are like, might be like, wow, she went off on a sideways thing here. Well, that is part of listening to me, is I will also share things that I feel called to share by something greater than myself. And then we get back on topic. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's sad. Sometimes it's venting. But I truly believe you're here to listen and hear certain things that are being said on this very episode for a reason, whether you listen to the episodes in perfect order, whether you listen to them out of order, whether you landed on this randomly, you were supposed to hear this stuff. So even if certain things in your life don't seem to be fitting, don't seem to be making sense, things aren't working in your business, maybe you hired someone to help you that isn't working out, the puzzle pieces aren't laying and fitting together so seamlessly and easily as you hoped, there's a greater reason for it. And this goes into one of the business and life lessons that I've learned in 2021 and how I'm going to apply them to generate more money with less stress in the new year. And the beautiful thing about listening to people who've been doing things longer than you, who have the success that you would love to have and the way you would love to have it, is that you get to learn from my mistakes. You get a heads up on things that work really well and a heads up on things that don't. And that's my goal for you, is to shave off the time that it's going to take for you to make that money, for you to have that success, for you to grow your business, for you to get there faster and much easier than it took me. That's my goal for you. And are there shortcuts? The only real shortcut, straight up, is paying somebody. Unless you're blessed to have a mentor, maybe it's someone in your family, maybe you're just blessed to have someone mentor you on a deep level. But normally it's to pay somebody who's been there, done that, made the expensive mistakes, made the painful mistakes, also made the big wins, to tell you what works, what doesn't, and to see the holes in your business so that they can be plugged so you can get there faster and get that money rolling in quicker and get to that freedom lifestyle and that peace of mind that you're wanting to much faster and helping more people. That's what you're paying me for, quite frankly. That's also why you spend the time taking in my free content, because I make sure that those of you who, for whatever reason, aren't yet in a spot where you're going all in on learning from me and paying me to get that level of help, that you can binge listen to these episodes. You can watch all my videos, read all my posts, be on my incredible Secret Posse weekly digest email list, and absolutely, without a doubt, significantly move the needle in your business. Without a doubt, that's what they're designed for. But the reality is 99.8% of you won't do that. Nor would I, quite frankly. I would listen to it, but I wouldn't binge everything and apply everything, because I need accountability. I could tell myself I'm going to do that. I mean, I can't tell you how many courses and crap that I've bought that I haven't finished, and expensive ones too. And some of them were just bad, and I cut my losses, and I'm not going to waste my time, right? And some of them weren't bad. They were great, but it's not enough accountability for me. I didn't have enough skin in the game to show up. You know, I've got to have a consequence. I've got to have someone who I don't want to disappoint. I've got to have enough money on the line. I've got to have an all-in attitude, and that requires me working with private coaches or in very intimate high-level group programs. I'm not opposed to doing group programs for myself of where I'm at, but it's where I'm at in my business. And I'm not saying I'm better than a group program. I would be open to it. It'd be very a selective type of a mastermind experience that I would be potentially open to. But all of my coaches are private. I need to put major skin in the game for me to show up and have that intimate relationship with that trusted coach where I am going to follow through and I'm not going to let them down. And I shave off so much time because everything is customized to me. And that pays in dividends. That pays over and over and over and over and over again, as long as you're with the right person. And you're not always going to make the right choice. There are some people out there, there's quite a few people out there who are scams, who are cons, who are full of shit, who sell you on a dream and they say they're at this, that, or the other, and they don't even know how they got there, or they're really not there. and their lifestyle looks great online, but it's because their husband has a really great job and they really don't have to work and they're not really bringing in that much money, but their lifestyle looks like they are. So they're not lying, but they're also not disclosing the full truth. There's a lot of people who will sell you on the ease and the flow, and it's bullshit. Are there easier ways and faster ways to get more ideal clients, get them consistently, convert them into cash on repeat without a freaking doubt? And I've cracked that code many, many times over. I'm obsessed with cracking that code and constantly testing new things to tweak, and being willing for some of them to not work in order for me to best teach you guys. But is it freaking with ease and flow all the time? Are you kidding me? I mean, I have cheese powder all over the sweatshirt I'm wearing because shout out Heather, one of my private clients. And I've noticed that a lot of you have been sending popcorn tins to my P.O. box because I keep getting these delivery notices, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I get a lot of free shit sent to me this time of year anyway, because people might want me to shout it out, which I don't. I don't care if you pay me. I have to love the stuff, but like, I know there's cheese popcorn waiting for me at that P.O. box. But Heather has my beach house address because she came to my in-person mastermind event. That popcorn's gone, by the way. But there's the cheese remnants on this sweatshirt. Okay, like, this is not ease and flow. If you saw, I'm hunched over my kitchen island while looking at an oceanfront view, right? So we've got all that sexiness happening, but it's a shit show. There's organized piles all over the place. I look a mess. We're lucky that I'm able to record this episode. I had to do a lot to get myself to do this output because I'm just feeling emotionally hungover and drained today. And I would really rather just disappear into the abyss. But I have a business. And this is another lesson I want you guys to hear, is that if you don't treat your business like a business, you're not going to make business baller level cash. Period. End of story. You treat it like it's an option to show up. You treat it like it's not a have to or a must. And you let yourself off the hook, and you're not treating it like, no, I have to. Like, there's not a choice in the matter. I've got to do it. I have to show up regardless. You are not going to get that consistent cash and be able to serve those people and to grow where you want to grow. It's not possible. If I only showed up when I felt like it, you would almost never hear from me. It would be about 30% of the time. 70% of the time, I want to luxuriate. I want to sit here with a face mask on and read People magazine and eat copious amounts of carbs. I don't feel like it. And it's not because I don't love you, and it's not because I don't care, and it's not because I'm not passionate about it, and it's certainly not because I don't love money. It's because we're human beings. And in general, we can be lazy. And of course we want to just do stuff when we feel like it. No one's going to feel like it all the time. None of these entrepreneurs that you see on Shark Tank, or these people who you see featured, whether it's authors or people who've created amazing products, they don't want to show up all the time. Believe me, I know a lot of these people. I'm privileged to sit in boardrooms with these people. They don't want to show up all the time. The difference is they show up regardless. They find a way to show up anyway. They manage and preserve their energy and take care of themselves and invest a lot of money in having the support so that they can show up with the best energy possible. But even on their worst days, they show up in whatever capacity they have and trust that that's enough, because that's a lot better than not showing up. And a lot of you have been treating your businesses like they're hobbies, like it's an option and it's not going to work. A lot of you have been treating other things in your life, your health, your mental well-being. Maybe it's your physical health. Maybe it's your friendships. Maybe it's your love life. You've been treating that like it's an option. It's not a have to. It's not a must. Well, then you're not going to get the results. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And as human beings, we're going to try. And I'm telling you, it doesn't work. And this is coming from someone who's, I can be relatively lazy. Okay. Hence, #luxuriate. Okay. And it's just not going to happen. There's times where we're moody, right? I mean, I'm medicated for depression and anxiety. I have a PTSD trauma response. We get sick. We have surgeries. People die. There's lots of shit that goes down. And I show up regardless, not out of self-abandoning. I'm not telling you to self-abandon and not honor yourself, but don't fall for the bullshit that you see online where it's like, well, but if you don't feel like it and you're not in that alignment and flow, then maybe you need to go off on a retreat or take a month off social media and recalibrate and then come back. I'm sorry, but unless you've earned that right to do that, meaning you've been showing up day in and day out for years, you've built a following, you have a team of people helping keep content out there while you're, off finding yourself or whatever, you don't get to do that. Do you see Oprah disappearing? Seriously. Do you see her disappearing? And believe me, I'm sure that woman wants to disappear. She has a lot of pressure. And she would have the right to disappear. You'll see, actors, take time off. They've been in a lot of movies and they kind of disappear, but they don't really disappear. They have a publicist. They have people running their social media. They have a team of people making sure their name and their brand is still out there while they're, regenerating or doing whatever they need to for themselves. No, you've got to keep showing up. You've got to keep and want to show up from a place of true service, not, oh, well, this better work and I'm doing these reels and this isn't working and why isn't this working? You've got to show up until, and it's not cute. Every time I launch, and this is another lesson, I had launches that bombed in my mind. Okay. Launches that bombed and my best launches ever in this business have occurred in 2021. The ones that bombed had to do truly with my attitude and mindset, where I literally went in it with, this better work. I need this to be a big launch. I'm putting demands on the universe. This better work. This needs to be a big launch because I want this and I want that. And I've put in this money and I'm putting in this time and I'm spending this on ads and this, that, and the other. Well, guess what? God laughed and was like, okay, so I'm going to make you waste $10,000 in ads. How's that going to feel? It was a negative net profit launch, people. I don't remember when it was. I probably blocked it out. I feel like it was in the summer. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. It was because of my attitude, and then it shows up because you can't fake energy. It kind of showed up in my content. Not kind of. It showed up in my content. Everything felt hard. Everything felt like I was going through quicksand. Not cute. Not attractive. Not magnetizing energy. Now let's look at the flip side. My biggest launch ever. I had two biggest launches ever, but different categories, okay? Common theme in both. I committed to showing up, doing the best I can, having my team do the best that they can. My commitment was to stay in the best energy and letting go of the rest. And it is what it's going to be. And even in the dirty diaper phase of a launch, which is in the middle, because 85% of people are buying in the first 2 days and the last 2 days. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care if you are your Rihanna with something new for her Fenty Beauty line, which, by the way, her lingerie line's not doing very well. So even everything Queen Rihanna touches doesn't turn to gold. That's not doing as well as they thought. Right? It's not. Not everything you touch is going to turn to gold, no matter who you are, what team you have, how much money you have, if you're a celebrity, how many followers. It's just not. That's just not how it works. And anyone who makes it look like everything they touch turns to gold, run. I've fallen for it too. Because I'm like, God, they must have something secret. They must know something about manifesting that I've not learned in my 15 years of dedicated manifestation practices and having a private guru for 8 years and da. They must know something, because it seems like they have the guy, they have the perfect husband, they go on the perfect trips, they have a great body, they have great health. Every launch they have is millions of dollars. It's not possible. I'm not saying people don't have periods of time where you have a couple wins in a row. I mean, that's freaking great. I've had a couple wins in a row this year. Fantastic feeling. Love it. Riding high. But then the universe makes sure you get humbled. Kind of like with reels, you notice like you do one, it does really well, and then your next 2 or 3 are like crap. And then you do another, and then it's great again. Very humbling. I swear to God, I look at reels like it's an Instagram slot machine where it's literally like 1 does well, 3 are shit. 1 does well, 3 are shit. I swear to God. That's another conspiracy theory episode. But what worked well was me truly having to let it go. And it's not easy when you're in the middle dirty diaper phase. I mean, when I launched my first ever mastermind experience, my 2-day live experience, I've never done my own live event. I speak at a lot of people's events, and I serve at a lot of events, and I help people sell tickets to their events. But having my own was terrifying. And I had to keep staying in the energy of whoever's gonna pay and who's gonna come is supposed to be there, and stay in that energy. And that's that's much more magnetizing. Being in that scarcity. Oh my God, I need X many people to buy in order to pay for this because real hard cash is going out and blah, blah, blah. We sound crazy, feel crazy, and we push away the very things, people, places, things, money, abundance. We push it away when we're in that spot, but it feels very real, especially those of you who are in a spot, you're in debt. You're like, I need this to work, or I can't quit my job, or I'm going to have to get another job. I won't be able to pay back the debt. I'm not saying all that's not real. I get it. I've been up against it many times. But you have got to regroup and know that all you can control is you doing the best you can and showing up every day and putting money on the line for this, your heart, your soul, your energy, your intentions, your work ethic, your discipline. That's all you can do is the best of your ability. And you have to trust that the outcome is going to be the outcome. We're trying to control what the outcome is because we're scared. And it doesn't work like that. And the more we hold on that tightly, the more we suffocate our dreams. This is why I have 3 coaches. Seriously. It is worth every penny for me to have tens of thousands of dollars going out in coaching in order for me to be able to stay in that state of being able to show up, have accountability to show up, and obviously use a proven strategy, have people see holes that I don't see, people keep my mind right when I go sideways, and also to feel that I'm supported and not feel so alone in this, because entrepreneurship can feel very lonely. And let me tell you, it gets more and more lonely the more successful you get, because there's There's not many people at the top. And what I've noticed about a lot of the people at the top is they have a lot more to lose. And a lot of them aren't as open into sharing the shit behind the scenes. They've almost drank their own Kool-Aid so much that they don't want to share their failures and stuff behind the scenes, which is why I've made a point of being someone to share. That's why I also attract a lot of high level, high net earners to coach with me, because they like that I'll share the reality that I don't care that I have millions in the bank. Still not everything I touch turns to gold. And that's okay, because as long as you have more wins than you do losses, you're ahead of the game. I have opened my exclusive 2-month private business coaching program applications for 2022 early. Now, I only take 6 people at a time. The reason I've opened it is I know so many of you are like, I can't have a repeat of 2021 and 2022. I can't tell myself I'm really going for it this year. I'm taking my business to the next level. And then I end up, now we're in February of 2022 and I really don't even know how to get there. And now I'm floundering and I'm wasting time. And I don't want to waste any more time. Like, enough's enough already. That's why I'm opening it early, because I would rather you cross over the new year into knowing that you've taken action, you've applied, and I'll determine if this is the best fit. You know, you have to make the choice of if you feel called to have me as your teacher, as the person who's going to create a customized strategy with you to attract new ideal clients, convert them into paying customers on repeat in a way that feels good to you. Here's the thing in digital marketing. There's a lot of shit that's proven that works, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't, but there's a whole gray area in between. And I work with you in the gray area, because if we don't customize how you get new clients and convert them into being excited to pay from you on repeat, you're not going to do it. That's why a lot of group coaching programs may have not worked that well for you, because they can't customize it to everyone. That's why you're paying less, because it's a group program. It will work for some people because that exact strategy feels good to that person. But if it doesn't feel good and it doesn't feel right to you, of integrity to you, if it doesn't feel exciting to you, you are going to quit, or you're going to resist doing it, and therefore it's not going to work. So that's one of the main things we do. We prioritize fresh cash in your business. So I work with both new entrepreneurs, that's the category I put you in, if that they're under $10,000 per month in revenue, so 0 to 10,000. I also work with experienced entrepreneurs. So they're already in 6 figures. They're looking to scale to the higher 6 figures, or going from 6 figures to 7 figures. So I have 2 different 2-month programs depending on where you're at in your business. You can apply by swiping up. The link is in the show notes. The link's also in the bio on my Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany, or go to my website at ProjectMeWithTiffany.com. Work with me. But I can only take 6 of you, and it's not a matter of if I don't accept you. It's not that I don't think you're worthy of working with me or anything like that. I only want to take people on who I know for certain that you're going to get the ROI and you're going to get the results, because that's only a good look for us both. If I think you need something else first, or we're not the best fit, I'm also going to tell you that. But don't apply because you're looking for some free coaching from me, because we can see through that on the applications, and then you're dead to me. Love you. So another business lesson is less is more. And I've already known this, but it was even more evident this year. Being more intentional, strategic, and deliberate with my offers versus feeling like I have to do a self-paced course, and now I have to write a book. The have-tos, because of seeing what all these other people online are doing, I really had to keep putting my blinders on, because you know how like you can start like house projects, like I'm going to organize my closet and now I'm going to start using an air fryer. Don't let me buy an air fryer, by the way, because the crock pot thing never worked out. I bought like a $300 top of the line crock pot. It's still in its box. And then I pinned like 800 healthy crock pot recipes. So please do not let me order an air fryer on Amazon, because that'll be a lie. Because I don't cook. I don't like it. It's not happening. But all those like partially done projects, and I know you guys have them where it's like, well, I want a book and I want a course, because then you watch people online and they make it look like I just sit and travel the world with my hot husband in a van and I sell self-paced courses by mentioning it once in a while. And then hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars come into my bank account. Lies. Lies, 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 lies. Unless you are someone with a wildly built up audience and built up trust and highly engaged. And even then, you still have to sell the damn thing. You still have to sell the damn thing. And by the way, their way of selling the thing is to use manipulation and to make it look like they don't have to sell the thing. Because that appeals to you, because you hate the idea of promoting and selling and sharing your stuff, because you don't want to be annoying, vulnerable, sleazy. You don't want to be that person. So it's like, oh, well, I want to be able to do it how they do, where they don't even really mention it or talk about it, and they're making all this money because it seems so easy. That is their tactic. And it's manipulative. And I've fallen for it before too. Because I'm human. I'm lazy. It does look alluring. And then there's like that part of me that's like nosy, where it's like, okay, like how's this bitch doing that? I know you think that. I know some of you do it with me, where it's like you kind of try to reverse engineer my stuff. Do you know that I've had to send out, well, my lawyer did, we had to send out 3 letters this year for people who straight up copied verbatim my fucking sales pages. It pisses me off, because it's like, listen, you hire me, we will create a sales page in your own words that is high converting in that language. But you copying what I do, that's for my ideal client and in my way of talking. And copying is not a business strategy. And yeah, we see it out there. There's a lot of copycats, right? Of Chanel bags, Louis Vuitton bags. But do you really want to be the copycat? Or do you want to be the innovator? Who do you want to be? And who do copycats attract? Right? Now listen, I know most y'all have some kind of a fake something in your house, okay? I know I do. What do I have that's fake? I have a fake Gucci bag. It's like a high-end fake, so that's how I justified it being okay. It's a backpack. You might have seen it on social media, and it doesn't say, yeah, anyway. But most everything I have, like 98% of everything I have, is the real deal. Because either I'm not going to spend money on it, or if I'm going to buy it, I want the best. But who buys fake shit? Do you want that person who's buying the fake stuff? Do you want that ideal client who's buying into the lies and wants the easy? I don't. Those are going to be your biggest nightmare clients. You don't want that. But then you can't buy into it. You have to really take a look at yourself. Am I completely, really investing in my business, in myself, in a level that I want my ideal clients to invest in me? I've invested more in my business and myself in 2021 than I ever have in my life. And I've invested big money in myself before. I mean, crazy money, where it is without a doubt my average credit card situation here, because I put everything on my cards because I'm a points whore. This is how I travel. Well, when I'm allowed to travel again. This is why I travel first class for free. So I'm a points whore. very proudly am a points whore. I put everything that I can on my cards, and then I pay them off every month. But $50,000 easily a month. I just paid $145,000 in taxes just for the fourth quarter of 2021. I'm investing more in myself than ever, but guess what? Made more than ever. My highest month yet happened this year. This is my highest year to date on record. And would it have happened hadn't I invested all that extra money myself? No. And you want to know why? One, for us to grow and for us to go to a next level, we need next level support. Two, having that much invested made me show up differently because I have so much on the line. I'm certainly not going to blow it off, procrastinate. Well, I'll still procrastinate, but not at a level where it screws me. I just show up differently. There's more of a sense of urgency and a seriousness with it. I also have more of a lightness to me because I have invested in having that support, so I don't feel so alone. And I feel I have a great support system, which allows me to think more creatively, have better ideas, be able to breathe more. Even me continuing to extend month after month, staying at this $15,000 a month beach house, that's an investment in myself and in my business. And I've made more ROI than ever. But is it scary when I get those bills? Yeah, I'm like, holy crap, this is wild. I'm putting a lot out there. But if you want people to invest in you, if you want people to buy your high ticket stuff, if you want people to come back again after again and keep working with you and keep signing new contracts with you, well, how can you expect people to spend money on you if you're not spending that kind of money and investing in yourself and your business? It's not going to happen, or it'll just trickle in. Because now I can speak emphatically about what happens when you invest next level in your business. You get next level in return, as long as you're investing smartly and strategically, and it's not from your ass, right? And I can speak confidently to that, clearly to that, and people know it and feel it, and therefore they trust me with their money. So I really want you to think about that. And the last lesson, there's so many, but I don't want to bombard you with too many, but I can't get off this episode without you hearing this, is the greatest act of neglect is to settle for less. You've been neglecting yourself for years by putting your dreams on pause, putting them on hold, telling yourself lies. I have to wait till the kids are older. Now's not the right time. I'm not ready. I need to learn this, that, and the other first. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's all forms of neglect. That's all forms of putting yourself, your needs, your dreams, your visions to the side. And we don't get time back. Look how fast time is going. What in the hell happened to the last 2 years? Thank you. I can't even believe it. And now that Facebook always shows those timeline pictures. Well, Instagram does it now. And then your iPhones do it now. And I'm like, oh my God. I went to the Dominican Republic literally at the beginning of lockdown. It was like days. We entered back in the country days before the full lockdown. And the pictures started coming back up, and I go, oh my God, look at how fast time has gone. This is wildness. You can't get that back. And you continuing to settle for less in your relationships, in your friendships, from your kids, from yourself, from anything in your life. You're neglecting your needs. You're actually neglecting your sole purpose here on life. Even if you're not sure what the hell you're supposed to be doing, but you're meant to do something more. You're just not quite sure. Well, then you owe it to yourself to hire someone to help you figure it out. And stop fucking around and lying to yourself, and you overthinking, reading posts, messing around, telling people you're working on it, you're figuring it out, you're thinking about it. Well, time to get into action. Time to get into action and say F it and do it, because you don't know what's going to happen. And if you're going to regret it, if we end up at the end of 2022 and you're really not much further ahead than you are now in your business, in your bank account, if that's going to piss you off, then you better do something big about it now. And it's scary. It's terrifying even. But that's what's going to make you show up. That's what's going to make the difference. I promise you. I see it over and over again in my clients where they're like, that was the difference. I hired you because I knew I couldn't hide anymore. I knew I couldn't, kind of choose to not show up. And it scares me because now I know I actually have to show up, or I'll be letting you down. I'll be embarrassing myself. I'll be wasting my money. And that's why I'm here. And I can't use any more excuses like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do next. I don't know how to make this work. Nothing's working. Well, you can't use those excuses when you're with me, because I'll tell you exactly what to do and what works and what doesn't. Then you'll be left with yourself, and it'll either be that you show up and you follow through and you do the work, or you're left with yourself where you've not done it. I can't make you show up, but I can certainly call you out with love, because what you're doing right now isn't feeling good. I know what that feels like. I really do. And it's time. And it's time. I love you so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Rounding out donation December. Please leave a 5-star written Apple Podcast review. Leave your name or Instagram handle inside the review. Take a screenshot, share it with me on Instagram in my DMs at ProjectME with Tiffany, and I'll donate $40 to Children of the Night to help rescue more kids, teens, and women from the arms of these horrific monsters of sex traffickers, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide. And during the holidays, the demand for sex trafficking victims is crazy high. Crazy high. New Year's is one of the highest. But this is also an opportunity for us to rescue more people during this time. So $40 I'll be donating on your behalf for doing that for 90 seconds of your time. We are way short of our goal, which I'm saddened by. But all I can do is ask you for you guys to take 90 seconds and do it. If you don't know how, you can Google it. Please help support these people who are trapped so we can help save them and give them a shot at this precious life. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.